Well, it's interesting too, because I think so often people forget that a corporation is simply a collection of people who come to work every day rallied around an idea.
That's what the word means.
And it's so often lost in the day-to-day grind of it, I guess. But this reminds me of one thing I wanted to ask you about too, because so much of what you write about comes back to the concept of love. In our company, we have very few rules, but one of our rules is, when in doubt, do the loving thing. And when clients ask us, well, what are your values or what are your rules, and we tell them that, people kind of laugh. Normally, though, they laugh in a recognition of, wow, that's really cool. I'm not sure how you act on it, but it's cool. But what role do you think love plays in business?
Well, in a good world, it's somewhere in every decision. It shouldn't be foremost in every decision, because you're not running a nursery and you're not, spoon feeding, you're not rocking a baby to sleep, where love should be preeminent and everything. And there is a point where you could love yourself right out of business, and then you're not helping the employees that you have either. But when you say loving, I mean, let's define the word the way I think it's applicable to business. It's not, gooey romance and holding hands and bad Josh Groban songs. It's kindness. It's humanity. It's saying, okay, if we cut that, we're going to have to lay off people who therefore are not going to be able to feed their families, and that's important. If we close that plant, that community suffers and maybe even dries up and dies, and that's not a kind or human thing to do to a town. These kinds of decisions. Or we could gore one more dime out of that customer, but that might put him under, and then he's not going to be our customer anymore, and we're going to have to go search for another one. Leave a little something on the table for the other person. This is something that I find, I've always tried to do this in business, and I have a lot of business. I mean, I run businesses. I've got S corporations up the gazoot. I don't want to paint myself as some guy who just, moves little words around on a pad and has no idea if he has a bank account. I have an MBA from Columbia. I kind of have a vague idea what's going on in the business world. But anytime I'm in a conversation with somebody over business, I first enter it by saying, what does this person want? What would make this person happy? Can I get to that and still get what I want? And that's just a whole different angle than coming in and say, what do I want out of this deal? And I don't really care what that other person wants. That's loving. Okay, not smoochy loving, but it's human to the other person. Hey, can we do something that you're going to go, I don't have to beat you to be happy. And that's what I think is a big problem of our very competitive society and businesses. If someone doesn't walk out of the room feeling like they beat the other person, they think they didn't get a good deal, or they didn't make a good price, or they're not doing the right thing. Why? To me, in a good world, your story should be, and they both went home happy. How in fairy tales they say, and they lived happily ever after. Well, in business they should say, and they both left the room happy. And
there you go.